pro streamer trick. Unmute the mic. Mic check. Pro streamer trick. Yeah, there you go. Oh God, I can never stop um, jacking up. Hello, friends. This is Brain from GameBrain.media, and wow, we are going to do more Fishing Planet. I'm going to set my timer right now for 45 minutes. Um, that's all I'm going to stream. Last stream was 3 hours. One before that was 2 hours almost, and the one before that was, I think, another hour and a half. And the last 3 hour stream was just absolute drunken rambling. Um, yeah, sorry, I watched a little bit of that, and I can't believe 17 people watched it. Um, that's pretty hilarious that people would watch that replay. It's not. I guess it's hilarious. Hopefully, drunken ramblings are funny. But um, the other one that I watched was me preaching about going to New York, or sorry, Lone Star, fishing that out and going to New York and then going to Florida. I know it gets boring when you're a new fisherman, right? It gets boring to stay at the same lake with the same gear. Yeah, I know you want to spend that money, but anyway, some of the advice I offered was good, and other people I'm sure would argue with me. In fact, I know they would because everybody has a different opinion, right? And opinions are like certain things that stink. Everybody has, how does it go? Opinions are like XYZ and they all stink. So, anyway, I'm going to do a quick run through for those just joining this largemouth bass hunt on this particular video. Like I said, I set my timer for 45 minutes. We're going to make this short and sweet. Hopefully, we're going to bounce through different time peaks. Doesn't really necessarily mean that's a unique time, right? And I'm not going to bust out the Uber sheet yet. I just keep wanting to hammer away at my favorite holes. And, the game developers have clearly changed the game since, I haven't played in a while. And once I did start playing again, oh my God, I'm loving it. Hey, not Taylor. Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. And thanks for testing the chat overlay because I just totally forgot about doing that. Hey, were you the person looking for the sturgeon? Was that you yesterday about the sturgeon? I can't remember if that was your name or a different person. But I'm going to run through the rods, right? Okay, so on this one, I have a 34-pound rod and 35-pound line. And what is my leader? 32 pounds. All right, so we should be pretty good with this setup. And we got a 4/0 hook, the X Series 4/0 and a shiner. And honestly, I mean, they definitely should be going for this. All right, well, like I said, I can't remember the person's name, and I missed their comment at first, but then I tried to follow up, and I just wanted to make sure if that was you that I got the information you were interested in. So I'm guessing you play Fishing Planet. Let's see, you were here the other day. Uh, you're one of the console Fishing Planet guys, right? Or am I completely off? I might be completely off. There's a song from Frank Zappa. I might be totally wrong, but I'm a dancing fool. All right, 49-pound rod. So this is a fat boy. 44-pound line, and let's check our leaders. 41-pound. We have a good hierarchy and descending chain there. And then this is our lightest setup, and that's a 22-pound rod. Let's just look at the line. 20-pound line and a 22-pound leader. Okay, so that's not really ideal in the descending hierarchy. Then we got the bottom rod with the rod being capable of 31 pounds, the line being 25, and the leader being 22. And then we got a similar setup here with the lures. I got a fat rod at 26 pounds, 25-pound line, and a 22-pound leader. And then here we have one that's a fatter rod at 46 pounds, 41 pounds. Then the leader is 41. And I really still want to get a bass with this freaking lure, but I should probably set that quest aside and throw a different lure on there just to make it easier to swap, right? Because I got a walker, and this could carry one of those big fat walkers that I had. I broke a rod tossing too fat a walker, but here we are. The final rod is a 23 pounder with a 23-pound line and a 22-pound leader. All right, so we're in good shape. And we just started the map. We're going to go to a private room so we aren't interrupted. Yesterday I got disconnected, I think, and ended up the game kind of like reconnected and put me into a public room. And then there were some people casting lines over my head, and that was not cool. Well, that's how it works in a public room. You're all fishing your own fish or your own game, your own lake. It's kind of interesting the way they've done separate instances of the lake. So if you toss your bobber and you land your bobber or lure right on top of my bobber or lure, it ain't gonna spook my fish. So anyway, let's get going. We have a 10-pound and 11-pound. We're after that 12-pound and 13-pound unis, and really that's the only thing I care about. This time of day, we'll go ahead and see if we can pick one off out here. So, like I said, I never set a marker for um, the 13 pounder when I caught that because I already had existing markers. And here's this one on a shiner, a 12.4. Here's this one, a 12.8 on a glow crank. But that was early evening. Let's look at when time of day the other one was. Oh, late night on a shiner. All right, that's cool. And then here's a uni largemouth at 11.7 on the glow crank, and another one at 9.9 on a crawfish colored crankbait. But I left the marker out there just as a reminder. Oh, you know what? Duh. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to remember what the hell is over here. I think these are peacocks. Oh, that's that sail cat. Let's see. Here's my. There is a uni. Is New York worth it? Hell yes, it is. Um, Definitely make sure that you have a rod that can handle better than a 4-pound fish. Now, it's not super likely you'll get a 4-pounder, but absolutely. Um, I recommend going from Lone Star Lake to Emerald Lake, so Texas to New York, and then fish until you die in New York, Emerald Lake. You're going to get bored out of your mind. Maybe rent the kayak and go out, watch a video, and find where the unique sauger live. Now, the unique sauger can actually be 7 or 8 pounds, I think. Yeah, but walleye in New York is totally worth it. Make sure you bring. Hang on, let me finish this. Looking at these. Okay, it's an 11.2 on the glow crank at early night. This other one is a 12 pointer at late night, also on the glow crank. All right, so those two spots are still good. And usually it was the freaking glow crank that I was getting them on in the evenings. How much cash? You mean how much cash can you make? Well, it depends on how big a net you got. When I went there, like if you're a Lone Star and you've caught enough fish to buy a larger net, don't do it. Um, just go to New York. Oh yeah, and this might be skewed because I bought a permanent license there. Um, you have a 66-pound net. All right, so I was recommending the other day that you like have a net and then skip one and wait until you can buy the second next biggest net, right? So if you have a 66 pound and the next one's 100 pound, wait until you can buy the 200 pound. But you know, it's all a judgment call. Um, if you don't have a permanent license there, which costs you gold coin or game coin or whatever you want to call it, bait coins. Okay, you're level 24. Hell yeah, how can you be level 24 and not have been to New York yet, man? You must have gone to Mud River and Narren or maybe Colorado. Forget the name of that lake. Oh, you're gonna love New York, dude. The walleyes are fun, stupidly fun. And I'm sure you have the purple narrow spoon, hopefully with a barbless hook, because you get a little bit more XP when you're using a barbless hook. I'll show you that. This guy right here. So that lure, let's see, barbless narrow spoon they call it. With a 1/0 hook, it's only a 1/4 ounce, 2 inch long. It'll cast pretty good. That plus a black one, using the black. Okay, here's a saying that the old timers used to use, and that is bright day, bright lure, dark day, dark lure. So if the sun is out, use the purple. If it's a dark day or nighttime, use the black. But really, just switch. Try one, then try the other. And whatever works, keep using it until it quits working, and then switch again. Yeah, dude. And when you go there, you're gonna notice that you walk out on a dock. It's just like this. It's a T shape, right? So let's show the dock, right? Right, it's T shape. So when you walk out on the dock at New York, you'll look straight out, and there will be this gigantic, super tall maple tree. Go just to the left of that and cast as far as you freaking can. And look at the topo, or look at the topographical map. You'll be able to see, like, there's dark water out there, then there's a hump, and then there's more dark water. So deep water, shallow water at a hump of land that's underwater, um, like a miniature volcano underwater. And then as it gets closer to you, you'll pick up yellow perch too. And then there's another great fishing opportunity by going to the other side of the dock in New York. This side, go to the right, and if you cast out there, you're gonna find fish. And if you go to the, man, I got a fish on. If you go to the left side of the dock out there, and you look out, you're gonna see this big rock, this big round rock abutment out there in the water, and just cast towards it. You're never gonna cast all the way to it, but right around that rock, if you grab the kayak and you go out there, that's where the unique sauger live. And like I said, they can be pretty big. So if you have a good enough gear, it won't be a problem. But from the dock at the left-hand side, shit, blew my cast. From the left-hand side of the dock, just look out at this big rock. It's almost in that location I'm pointing my rod tip at right now. In this video, standing at the left side of the dock at Emerald Lake, you're going to see this big curved rock. Cast in that general direction, and then slice the pie, or slice the clock. Go to, instead of midnight straight at the rock, go, click, click, click down the clock, or click, click, click the opposite way around the clock. And that's how I, approach some of those fishing spots that are well known to have specific results. Oh man, you're gonna have fun. Yeah, you'll fill your net pretty easily, I would think. But the developers have made a lot of changes to the game since last time I was playing. So, Emerald Lake. That's what I was giving you descriptions about. Even though I'm pointing as if, I'm in Florida. Dude, have you been to Florida? Oh, it's a unique sauger. Sauger. It's very similar to a walleye. It's in the perch family. Um, Hit YouTube and watch a video about Emerald Lake, and look for a guy named KP Shamino. At least I like his videos. There's other people, Hawkeye. There's Warlord Sully, maybe has a video on Emerald Lake. Oh, Jake Vegas, I think he calls himself. And he maybe hasn't been playing this game for very long, or in a long time. But yeah, KP Shamino, Emerald Lake, Sauger, Sauger. You will have to rent the kayak to paddle out there, unless you already bought the kayak, and then you can just jump in and go. But man, you're gonna crank in 2, 3, 4 pound walleye, pretty much all day. Well, they definitely love to strike at night, and they also don't mind the rain. And this is like all from memory, and that was like a year ago or longer since I've played there. But oh my God, the grass pickerel. Now that could be. maybe 7 or 8 pound fish there. No, it's a unique chain pickerel, I think, is also there. I think that's what's out there. There's baby northern pike, but I'm pretty sure the grass pickerel and the unique chain pickerel. The chain pickerel, like I said, when you go to the left side of the dock and you look at that rock, there's a wall of weeds, and the chain pick is right there along that wall of weeds. It's easier to get them with the kayak, though. And are you familiar with markers? Like, you know how to create a marker when you catch a fish so that you can use as a target to start casting towards. And then you make friends at a lake. You know, you start to chat up and you say, hey guys, anybody have a marker for the unique sauger? Bam. Somebody's going to say, sure, add me to your friend list, and they'll share a marker to you. Then you open up your map. Like, if I hit that button, do I want to set a mark for the last fish I caught? No, it was just some little peacock, but I'm showing you. Um, but if somebody sends you a marker, there's going to be like a message here. Do you want to accept the marker? No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I believe you accept the markers in the friends list. So you go out here, and then you'll see something over here that says, hey, one of your friends sent you a marker. And then you can add it to your lake. Bam. Another little peacock. Yeah, you know, I always like to pay for my net or for my trip. I didn't have to travel here because I was still on the lake. I only got to make $1,000. Okay, so I've already made that to like renew my day, right? So we're in the clear for spending money. Um, but really, what I wanted to look at was the weather. Okay, we're at peak, so we'll keep fishing. I mean, geez, for early morning peak, this should have been off the hook, dude. I've played over 1,500 hours in this stupid game. I don't spend money on anything if I don't have to. That's why I recommended don't buy a kayak. Well, maybe you didn't see that video, but I recommended don't buy the kayak. Wait until you can buy the John boat, and then don't buy the frickin' bass boat. The bass boat's $400,000. Man, it took me a long time to grind away and buy that boat back from myself, basically, because I was just a greedy. Initially my goal was to make 1 million, and then once I had that, what's your next goal? Well, 2 million, and then once I had that, 3 million. So no, I never cheated. There are hacks, I guess, you can use, but I was just a greedy fucker, and I didn't buy everything that became available. Whenever a new rod comes out, oh, you're level 37. Now you can buy this bigger rod. Too bad. I already have a rod that's 27 pounds. I don't need this 28.5 pound. I mean, that's just stupid. Same thing with a net. I skipped from the 66-pound net to the 222-pound net or whatever it is. Because I think they go in kilograms, really, because they're European developers. So you have a 30-kilogram net. Then I think it jumps to a 60-kilogram net. So it'd be 120 pound. I skipped that one. Like, I didn't spend the money on it. And, like, I didn't buy a 3-rod case. I just fished until I could afford the 5-rod case. So I was just being a tightwad and a miser. And, yeah, now I can travel freely and do whatever I want in the game without worrying so much about anything. But I still, I'm still a tightwad miser that wants to, pay for my trip every time I come here. If it costs me $1,000, I better catch $1,000 worth of fish before I leave the lake. Now, I haven't done that all the time. I've entered a couple of tournaments, and you have to travel to a lake and practice. And then I'm like, I don't care about this fish or this tournament. But tournaments actually have some good prizes. I always do the story missions at the lake. They teach you where the specific species live. I think the story portion or the missions at each lake are important because you learn a lot from them. All right, so well, like I said, we've clearly won back our daily license fee or whatever you call it. What? Oh man, it looked like he had a fish in his mouth. Oh, that was just my large minnow. And I think it's really unlikely that I'm going to be catching a uni here during daytime. Although I did get that 10 pound and 11 pounder in the last couple of days during daylight hours. But what I might do is jump into a different time slot and then fish until it allows me to go to nighttime. Yeah, let's look at the map. God, we still have a really fat bubble there. Oh, oh, this is a different weather pattern than what was showing. Yeah, yesterday it said day 2 was going to be different. It was basically this kind of weather pattern inverted. So at 3 to 5 a.m. was the hot spot. So over here, yeah, that's the hot spot. So I got a double hump at night here. Well, the unis can strike by day or night. So maybe I'll cut down on throwing so many bait rods and just toss one and then toss this guy. Even though it's daytime. I don't think I brought my frickin' 3 foot crawfish crank, but that worked. I wonder if I ran this faster if I'll get different results. Oh, cranked it up to 2x. Got a fish. Small fish, but it's a big rod. Okay. Little 3 pound largie. Might as well give it a shot though. Running the crank at 2x. Yep. Had a snag. Oh, something hit the crank. Can you believe it? I set the crank down and it got a hit. Gonna go for it. I'm gonna grab it. Oh, of course. That was funny. Threw the crank. The minute I put the crank on the rod stand, poof. All right, so the bottom rod actually has what appears to be a fairly serious fish on it, and we already lost that other fish to line tension. That looks like a snakefish pattern, so I'm going to grab this other one. And I think he might already. No, I thought he ran up on ground. It was going to be dry docked. Yeah, it's coming in so easy. It's going to be a smallie. Well, not a smallmouth, a small fish. Yeah, I knew it was gar. It's trophy gar. But I know people are going to be like, "Well, what do you expect? You're using large minnows on the bottom." You know what? All right, so let's think about that. I mean, it's a gar, so no matter what kind of bait I put on it, it's going to What's a bass most prone to grab? Anything a gar will. So large minnow or the shiner or a frog. Let's throw. Oh wait, that's not the bottom. Let's throw a frog on the bottom. Then that seems like it's a dead frog and it's a gar down on the bottom because bass aren't really bottom feeders. But whatever. It's on a leader, so it should be able to float around or move around. And like I said, you can find so many people. Hey, Jake, what's going on, man? I only got a 10 and 11 pound uni so far. Not today. After like 6 hours of coming back to this lake, for sure. A logjam picked up Mud Runner. So him and Soul Piper were on last night. I ran the updates for SnowRunner. I don't know if you've picked that up. I think it was free on Epic, and I thought you got SnowRunner. Anyway, I downloaded updates, like 6 gigabytes of updates yesterday, and then those guys had a bunch of custom tracks selected, or tracks and trucks. And no, oh, you did not get it. Well, pretty. Oh, maybe it was Mudrunner that was free. Whatever. Yeah, I think Mudrunner was free, not SnowRunner. Anyway, I might be playing that this evening with those guys and not streaming, just playing. It's pretty cool. Mudrunner has like logging missions, and then SnowRunner has all kinds of missions, like go rescue a bulldozer that got stuck in the mud. Well, that's fun. You go out there with a winch and stuff, and it's stupidly fun. Yeah, I got my Mudrunner on Steam also, because it wasn't working well with adding the trucks and maps, custom trucks and maps. And I mean, the game's only $5. I don't think SnowRunner has ever been that low priced yet. Uh, Soul Piper mentioned that SnowRunner has a deal. They have to be exclusive on Epic for 1 year. So it won't come to Steam. So we can't use Steam Workshop and stuff until it moves over to Steam. But they do have something called mod.io. MOD, like game mod.io. So if you go sign up at mod.io and you have a game on Epic, it's kind of like connecting the Steam Workshop and the Steam mods that you can subscribe to trucks and subscribe to maps and so forth. It's a very similar model. So that's cool. We got that going for us. All right, man. That really irks me that as soon as I let go of the friggin' crank, I had a fish on. Yeah, let's see. Let me check my clock. Well, I've only got about 15 more minutes that I'm going to play this game. And then I thought about doing some Call of the Wild. I'm hung up on Silver Ridge Peaks. Is that what it's called? I was going to play there. Ooh, oh, he looked fat. He looked fat, but how do I rotate him? I can't rotate him. Nope. He just had a big belly. She had a big belly. I'm guessing she's a predator. Yeah, but I can't stream or use Discord at the same time as play multiplayer. But yeah, we'll just skip and go play multiplayer. It's like I can do one thing or the other. Alright, so I'm going to start tossing this thing up. And... Phew. Oh, man, I thought I was going to have a good fish here, but it gave up the fight. It put up a good fight right off the bat, and then it gave it up real quick, so... Don't think this is that big of a rod. Yeah, it came in way too easy. 5 pounds? Yeah. Ah! As soon as I zero in on casting a bobber, I want to grab this freaking glow crank and work it. Since I went to 2x speed, maybe the bass will be more interested. Oh, come on, fish. All right, that's not working. Let me go to the walker. Even though I don't think I've ever caught a unique on a walker. Yeah, right. It's almost like I'm asking them to stop catching fish. But the thing is, all those markers, well, most of those markers except one, were largemouth caught at night on my glow crank. Um, Funny thing is, the glow crank keeps working during the day, man. And I might as well throw the walker over here. There's always a trophy over this way, it seems like. There it is. Oh, something was following me. It looked like a bowfin trail. They have notoriously replaced the bass over in that corner with bowfin, it seems. Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Because of a specific animal or a firearm that you like in that game? Or a particular location? What's the appeal for the Hunter Classic? I have it. I played it initially before I bought Call of Wild. I know they got turkeys. But I don't know if that's really the appeal. Oh, dude, I've been watching Zaggy, and he's using the longbow, which caught my attention. Instead of using my compound bow and the digital scope, that might add a greater challenge to bow hunting. Oh, crap. That was cranked to maximum speed. Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I even purchased the longbow yet. Oh, the Hunter Classic is a free game you can get on Steam if you're a PC player, and you can, of course, also get the Hunter Call of the Wild on Steam. It usually goes on sale for some really smoking deals at different times of the year. So start with the the Hunter Classic, which I said is free to play on PC anyway. I don't know if it's downloadable to play on consoles. Fishing Planet is, pretty sure. Okay, got I got action on the bait rods. Yeah, so I'm picking up a snag there. Dag nabbit. Yeah, I was worried about getting over here to catch this. Ting, 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 ting. So I'm curious what's behind the name Not Taylor. Your real name is Taylor, or your sister's name is Taylor, and you're not Taylor, or don't call me Taylor. I just think it's kind of funny. 7 pounds. It's a respectable little trophy, but it's not a uni. All right, we're in the final 9 minutes of the stream, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I want to put this rod down and toss the walker. Curse plunk. Taylor, I told you. Stand in the center of the dock and look straight out, and you're going to see the tallest tree across the lake. Cast just to the left of that and start reeling in. And if you don't get anything there, imagine that tree is midnight on a clock, and then cast at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then go back to midnight and go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So like slicing a pie, or shooting at numbers on the clock as you aim at that big the biggest tree across the lake. It's pretty clearly a maple tree. I think it's orange if it's still fall. I think the game has seasons, right? But it should be like an orange leaved tree, but the tallest one. It's pretty hard to miss. Or go stand at the left of the dock and cast towards that big round rock way, way out there. You'll never catch it, or you'll never hit the rock, but cast in that direction. And then you'll drag it over a deep hole that is out there under the water, and you'll go right past a little lily pad patch. And a lot of times you'll catch up a grass pickerel over there, or if you're paying attention, the dock at Emerald Lake is a T shape like this, right? So go straight out to the center, bam, look across, tallest tree, go a little to the left. Call that midnight, and then start casting in multiple directions from there. Or go over here and see that big clump of trees. That at Emerald Lake is the equivalent of the big rock that I told you about. Then you can also go over here and just cast straight out from the right hand side of Emerald. And that should get you started off that main dock in catching walleye with your purple and black narrow spoons. And you will have your best luck at 9 p.m. at night, but you're also going to burn a lot of time, man. Casting to the right with a bright spoon, like a silver or a gold bright spoon. The casting spoons from Lone Star. Yeah, I've had luck with those. Oh, and also I've had really good luck with the perch spoon. So the perch colored spoon is, well, I would describe it as a white spoon with green and black stripes. And that's one of my favorite spoons to cast. If the walleye aren't hitting, suddenly you're casting for yellow perch. It's a really good spoon. The walleye will hit it. But so the perch, so the pickerels. Oh, yeah, dude. At New York, what I like doing, um, go to the right side of the dock and cast underneath that big overhanging tree. off in the distance in the back corner, and that's like a bunch of sunfish, and there's just a lot of stuff back there. Of course, I was doing, catch every species at the lake. And you will need a kayak in order to do that. The crappie fishing there is really good too. Man, it used to be that fish would hit all the way up to the dock, and it's really grim that they changed that. All right, so pretty much out of time on my timer, and my clock is basically, well, my peak. It's pretty much run out. So, no luck today on a uni hunt, at least not in a 45-minute stream. But I'll come back and I'll do the next weather curve. Man, it looks like there's a fish following my lure, but it's just that my lure is leaving a huge wake now with better graphics. Or I've turned up the graphic options, I guess. Yeah, the uni bluegill hunt was fun. I went back and I looked at my uni bluegill. I think is a 2 pounder, and I have, yeah, an even 2 pounds. Well, 2 pounds plus decimal change, but 2.034 or something like that. And then the red ear, I think, is a pretty close to a straight 4.0 something pounds. Oh, there's a bluey. Hey, where'd my bluegill go? Crappie is 2. What? Oh, so my bad. 3.044. So I increased that, or I improved that at Quanchkin. And then the red ear I also snagged at Quanchkin was a 4 pounder right there. 4.0 in decimals. Oh yeah. That was fun. I was jumping up and down like a girl in my living room, like we just won the cheerleading competition or something. Yeah, 4 pound red ear. Not really. I'm kidding, dude. But it was fun. Okay, I think we're pretty much tapped out on the clock. Don't want to throw that walker. I'm going to throw the purple spoon. Ah, I've challenged myself to catch a bass on the purple spoon, and I know it can be done. I know it will happen. I just have to throw it more often. Oh, wow, this thing's coming in stupid fast. Yeah, 4 pound red ear is pretty huge. Um, so when I noticed that the leaderboard currently is only the only uniques there are 12.5 pounds, and I have a 13.4. I was wondering, did the developers lower the maximum size of a largemouth here? So I went and looked at what the world record is, 22 pounds, I think. And there's a link on, just Google world record largemouth bass, and there's I think the first link I saw was either the 10 biggest largemouth or the 20 biggest largemouth ever. And one guy is from 1936. Okay, I doubt they x-rayed the fish. I doubt they cut open its belly, but he might have shoved it full of lead. Um, then there's a Japanese lady, and I kind of was like, really? They grow 20-pound freaking largemouth in Japan? Because she was fishing in Japan, I'm pretty sure. Um, but I didn't really exhaustively dissect the list. It was interesting though, and I bookmarked it for future reading. But it's just unusual, that an old black and white photo of a guy holding a fish with a giant fat belly. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories about guys stuffing lead sinkers down the gut or down the throat of a fish to make it weigh more to win a competition. Same thing with rocks. You can just fill their belly with rocks. And as long as they're not going to x-ray or cut open your fish, um, and they didn't do that in the early days because they weren't concerned with people cheating, because people were legitimately more frequently honest by ethics, integrity, and religion. At least in my opinion. All right, so that little ding-a-dong you heard was end of stream warning. So last cast, had to give it a shot. Really thought I'd get something on the walker. That was the slowest morning peak fishing for bass I've ever had at this lake. They have absolutely changed um, the Everglades. Oh, I didn't want to cast. God damn it. Well, the bite frequency has seems to have decreased. The largest largemouth seems to have decreased. Um, but maybe not. Maybe, I just haven't been here in a while. Discard. All right, so not Taylor. Good luck at Emerald Lake, man. If you're still listening, hope you slay him. Come back and tell us all about the walleye that you found and the yellow perch that you got with that little perch spoon. That white spoon with the green and black stripes is super cool. Lure, really cheap, low level can purchase that. I think it's only an eighth ounce or a quarter ounce. I think it's only an eighth ounce, and it has a pretty small hook, but they love it. Um, the purple narrow spoon for the walleyes and the saugers, which you'll find. And for now, that's it. We'll come back and we'll hit this other weather peak, which I'll jump the clock to 6 or 7 p.m. And then we have a pretty good, like, all night fishing. I think we're going to have another unique later today in that weather gap, or in this hump, or this hump. Ah, you can't see my mouse. All right. Catch you next time. Bye, guys.